I'm going to remove this reed by driving the reed through the reed plate using this punch, which will push the rivet through this fixture through the hole. So I'm going to flip this reed plate over, get the reed, the rivet centered underneath the punch, and I'm hitting the top part of the punch with a hammer. Okay, I drove the rivet through the reed plate, but not the reed, so another little tap here. Okay, it just drove the rivet the rest of the way through the reed, and now the reed is out of the reed plate. Now once we've punched that reed out, there is a raised area on the reed plate. If you see that little shiny spot right there, that shows where the reed plate has been raised when the punch drove the rivet through. So our next step is to flatten that area on the reed plate and also on the reed. The reed in the hole where the rivet went through also got raised a little bit, distorted a little bit. So we're going to flatten those two pieces out next. Now we're going to flatten the reed and the reed plate. This is a flat, hard surface here with a punch that is lined up in this tool. And I'm just going to hit it with a hammer. And that will flatten the reed out. I'll do it again one more time. Flip the reed over. And then the reed plate. So that takes care of that. You see the difference here between the flattened one and the one next to it that I did not flatten. I'm now going to use this 0.90 tap to tap the reed plate for the screw that we're going to put in. You don't need to drill out this reed plate for this tap, for this particular kind of harmonica. The tap fits well in that rivet hole. So this is just cut the threads we will be using. Taking the tool back out. That's all there is to that. And while we have the tap in our hand, we'll also take the reed and use this tap on the reed. And the only reason we're doing this is to just widen the hole a little bit. See, I'm working this, I'm twisting the reed one way and then another just to get that hole widened, and it'll make it easier for the clearance bit to drill out the hole. I'm going to use this drill bit that is in a pin vise to do the clearance hole in the reed. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking the reed that I just opened up a little bit with that tap, and now I'm using this drill in the pin vise to finish drilling the hole. So I'm just carefully working my way until the drill bit bites into the brass of that rivet head. And now once again, I'm going to twist the reed a little bit from one side to the other as I work this, and also go as many different ways as I can, just to use the drill bit to cut a little bit more brass out than you would cut out if you just went straight through. Before we put the reed in with the screw, I'm going to use this drill bit to deburr around the hole on this rivet pad. I'm going to do it on both sides just to take that, just to clean out around the hole. What I'm doing now is flattening and sanding the area on the reed plate where I'm going to put the reed. Our next step is to take one of these brass hex head screws, the reed screws, and put it into the nut driver. So now it's ready to put the screw on and put the reed into the reed plate. You put the screw into the reed, making sure that the mill marks are facing you. And then we're going to screw this into the reed plate and just get it in there just enough to hold the reed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add grit. As you can see, this reed is loose, so there's space underneath here. I'm going to take a tiny bit of the grit and push it underneath only the back part of the reed. So I'm just shoving it underneath this area right here, only underneath this part of the reed. And once we do that, we're going to tighten up the reed a little bit more, enough that the reed doesn't move anywhere. Now we're ready for the next step. Okay, now that you have the grit underneath the reed and you've tightened the hex head screw enough that you can move the reed but it still feels some resistance, then you're ready to center the reed using the light box. And you're just moving it one way or another. With this reed wrench, you can also move the reed forward and backwards to center it, to get it close to the end of the slot. But once you get it where you want it, then you can put your finger over it and use the nut driver to tighten the screw some more. You may need to do some back and forth to get this right. Okay, now that you've got the reed in place, the last thing to do is just a quick check here. Plink the reed. What does it sound like? If it sounds nice and clear, you're done. Now the screw you put the reed in with will stick out on the other side of the reed plate. If that is in your way, then you will need to file it down, or you might use a flush cutter to cut the screw down. But the idea here is just simply to get that down to the reed plate. You'll probably end up using a sanding wand or something similar to that. You can also flip this reed plate over and just put it on a sheet of sandpaper on a piece of glass. Once you get that done, you're ready to put the reed plate on the comb and do the final adjustments of tuning and adjusting the reed.